This is DMG. We're going to talk about narrow passages. Narrow passageways. Okay, so we're going to grab a 2x1 piece and a 1x1 piece, and what we're going to do is measure halfway down each side on the 1x1 piece, and these are going to form parts of the walls are going to jut out in larger squares into the actual tile itself. So this is slightly different from normal walls that we do here, and this is to narrow the tiles themselves and keep the layout consistent across the rest of the tiles, so that you're not changing the shape of the overall tiles when you're placing them down. So just place some hot glue after you've cut them. You've ruled the lines and cut it into 4, and then just stick down on the same side on opposite sides of the tile, and then just mark in the middle of the middle line where you're going to place a wall. You can see this is starting to form a corridor that is bending around a wall piece that's jutting out. So again, just putting down hot glue, place the wall, flip it over, cut it off, etc. Now it's best to keep the entrance and exits on the same side, so that when you are laying out there, everything will eventually always line up. Here we're just measuring the wall before we cut and glue it down, just so that it will fit into what's available. So when these tiles are put together, because the things are on the same side, you're never going to have a problem with lining everything up. So here it is. You use video 3, 4, and 5, and just the squares just are left black in the middle, just to show dark areas. And there you have a narrow 2x1 passage. So now what I'm going to do is a single square, and I'm going to use some of the little quarter squares that we've created already, and stick one of those down in the corner, and then just place some walls down along the sides, and there you have a single piece that's now a corner, and that will fit on the end of any other narrow passage, or the end of any other passage, as a nice little narrow corner. And that's very useful. We don't need to see that painted. Essentially that is the same as the previous piece that we've done. So now what we're going to do is a 4x1 corridor piece, and this time we're just going to get 2 single squares. So these are video 2. If you have a look at video 2, you'll know what the sizings are for these squares that I'm talking about. And so we're just marking halfway across one side, and then ruling a line, and then cutting them. Now when you see me cutting here, it looks like I'm only doing 1, but it's actually you do 3 passes to get through the double layer cardboard. I've just edited it to speed it up. So then I am placing down some hot glue in the first square on one side, and placing down the half, and then I'll do the same on the other side, and again glue down one of the halves. So now what we need to do is find the center of one of these halves. So just measure 3 1/4 centimeters, and then hot glue that down and make sure that that mark lines up with the central line that you see there. So that when you lay out the grids as in video 2, that's how it will fit. And then we're just going to place down the walls as you would normally. Hot glue, lay down the wall, flip it over, clip it off, and continue on. So you can continue on this motif in various different ways, using the half sizes, the quarter sizes, etc., to create blockings and the narrow passageways that can meander through your dungeon. And then you have a nice corridor piece, which essentially will then paint up with, as you've seen in videos 3, 4, and 5. Now this here, I just use walls rather than those blocking pieces, so you can do that, and that will line up with existing passageways. So that's how we do narrow passages. So if you like this video, be sure to subscribe so that you can see future videos, and click the like button. You can also check out my Facebook page, Twitter account, Google Plus page, email newsletter, and my website, thedmg.info, where you'll find a section called Store. Click on Store, and there's products you can purchase from 99 US cents that help to support this channel and pay for cat food to keep the little one happy. And in the next video, we're going to be talking about how to do an internal staircase. Aquavita.